Hey, I'm Holland Roden, and you're watching FrConventions. Oh yeah, I definitely remember my Teen Wolf audition. I auditioned several months prior to getting hired. I went out for Allison initially, but I had the choice. My agent gave me the breakdowns of both characters, and I said, well, why would I go out for the Lydia character? That's crazy. I'm gonna go out for Allison, who's like the new girl in town. And I think they ended up kind of switching the breakdowns a bit. Like Lydia is supposed to look like a model, and then they kind of switched it. And I just kind of became like the smartest girl in school. And sure enough, like I went far for Allison, and they said, you know what, give us a few weeks, we want to bring you back for Lydia. Yeah, okay, whatever. And then they actually did. And then I kind of went through the paces and got hired. It was kind of wild. Stroke of luck, man. Since the show ended was 17, we shot I auditioned in 2009. Yeah. It's been 19, 20, 15 years. 15 years, guys. 15 years. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, I do. It was at the Artmore Hotel, which is no longer even existing in Atlanta, Georgia. And I met Colton first. It was one of my first meetings. And I was like, oh God, this guy. And he's my best friend now. We live together right now. We're very close. Yeah. We became instant friends. Like we were really close pretty much our whole friendship. I mean, we're like talk weekly. Like, yeah, it was instant. It was absolutely instant. We would dress up in bed sheets, like gowns. And this was Colton's idea. And he would rent out the like corporate, at the apartment building. We were shooting Teen Wolf. We lived in different apartment buildings, but he would rent out the movie screening room of the apartment building. And we'd wrap our bed sheets up and walk down the hallway because he wanted to pretend like we were going to an award show. So I was like, okay, sure. As long as we can go get, sticky toffee pudding afterwards, and like my favorite like dessert place down the street, and he would go with me, and we'd wake up, I'd spend the night at his house, like we'd have sleepovers, and season 2, Fife was there. And we would go to Starbucks and get the most disgusting drinks, like all this like fake sugar in it. It was crap. Iced Americano with 2 Splendas or 1 Splenda. Disgusting. I would never drink Splenda ever again. I don't know what we were thinking. And we would go home and watch Models.com. Models.com was his favorite thing. So he would teach me about the fashion show runway stuff. That's my first memories. Yeah. It was hard. I mean, at the same time, it becomes more of like a normal friendship where like you're not together 24/7. And we've remained close, so it's more than close, like we're family. So yeah, it's okay. I didn't, no. But it's very flattering, and yeah, I think it's fun. Yeah, it was quite fun. I mean, it's like this like kind of bickering old married couple that's actually never dated, so the dynamic is quite interesting. Yeah, totally. I thought it was funny. Yeah, most of the cast and most of us are pretty close. Yeah, I don't think you can like predict those things. It's like it either lasts or it doesn't last, and you can, pushing something that's just not naturally there. And then there's these circumstances that like just end up being something. And we were really close for a long time, but I also think it just, I don't know what it was that like we all just really like. Posey, I don't see Posey that often, but when I do see him, even when we don't see each other, like the love is very strong between the two of us. There's even like JR, and Shelly and I see quite, each other quite a bit. Crystal moved to New York, but like I still see Crystal when I'm in New York. Who else? I mean, most of us are very, Lyndon and Susan, we're always DMing. I'm always sending them little messages on Instagram. And so, yeah, it's really nice that we're all so close. I keep seeing Kylan around town. Like I've seen him like twice. I'm like, Kylan! Like, Kylan and Dylan at Sprayberry are just, they're like little brother, Vince is the same way. Like, they're not kids, but you look at them as kids. I'm sure that's the same way that older people on Team Older, quote unquote, looked at like us, so. It was amazing shooting the movie. I mean, it was just a surreal chapter. It's like unexpected chapters, like an encore that we didn't expect. So it still feels like very serendipitous, if that makes sense, that word. Like, it's very ironic that Teen Wolf was quite a ways ago now. It was, 7 years ago we wrapped the show. And yet it was just last year the movie came out. That's wild. At first, for like, I don't know, probably 8 months, I would get a lot of these Twitter back in the day. It was before Instagram. No, it wasn't before Instagram. Instagram started the same year Teen Wolf started. So I think I got maybe some DMs, but I remember a lot being on Twitter of saying, please come, please come. And I didn't really understand the structure. And I felt like weird, with the concept of like out of character, meeting people. Like, I'm also very self-conscious, where I was like, I don't have my makeup done. I don't look like my character unless I'm in those outfits, in that hair and makeup. And so I felt very like self-conscious about it. And I just felt like it was kind of not inappropriate, but like not respectful to the fans who were like, no, they're signing up to see Lydia and they're gonna get Holland. And like, those are very different things. And I didn't want there to be like a spoiled or soiled view of it, you know what I mean? And so I felt like it wasn't really fair to them to be coming. And then I very quickly realized it's offensive to not, like, they want you to come. And they don't care if you're like more real and not your character, obviously. So for like 8 months, I just didn't understand and felt not uncomfortable, like I felt bad. I was not gonna give the fans what they wanted. And then I realized like they just don't care, really. And so then I started going and like realized people make friends through these, and it's a huge underground community, which I love. Like, I have a van and I call it the underground community of the vans people, my van friends. They're the best. And we would have never met unless we all didn't have vans and like meeting on the road and stuff. So it's like, it's the same thing. So I totally get it now. I think the concept was hard for me to understand. So yeah, I held out, like, maybe it was like 8 months. I just felt bad. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, they're not gonna like that. They're not gonna like me. It's okay that they're not, but like, they want to see me a certain way. And then I realized that was not the case. So it was a nice surprise. We're still working together at the time though. So it was just about the vans, and I just didn't think they would like it. So I was like, I don't want to waste their time and money on something that is not going to be for them. But then I realized, like, oh no, they don't care. They just want they want the real thing.